Hey guys, this is Villains the Band. I'm Evan the Great, and I'm here with JVD, and we're bringing you another episode of Behind the Mask.
Today we're covering the leader of the Foot Clan, the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, arch nemesis, the Shredder, Oroku Saki. And he is one of my favorite villains.
He is on the top list somewhere. I don't have a list, but if I had one, he'd be near the top.
Yeah, and he is an ultimate badass. And the thing is, unlike a lot of these characters we do on here, you don't get to see it as much in the books, but when he shows his badassery, it's in spades.
Yeah.
So, now, the thing is, unlike a lot of characters, the Shredder has went through a lot of different incarnations.
Yes.
Because the Turtles have been around since 1984. And even in his first incarnation, he's a complete badass.
Yeah.
I mean, strong enough to take on the Turtles by himself.
Yeah.
So that right there says a lot. I mean, he's taking on 4 expertly trained ninjas, and they're mutants, so they're faster than your normal person. They're stronger, they're more durable, and he takes them on himself. And like, if you've not seen the original TMT movie from 1990, and the fight at the end with Shredder, man, that's like one of my favorite fights in movies.
It is one of my favorite scenes ever in a movie, and I reenact it all the time with our buddy Horton.
Yeah, Dr. Carey. So with that being said, let's talk about the Shredder. Weapons. I'm going to say this I would say this is probably the first guy on our Behind the Mask episodes that has the least amount of equipment.
Yeah, he don't really carry weapons. He wears them.
Yes, Shredder is known for his bladed armor. And when I say bladed armor, I mean everywhere. His helmet, which encases almost all of his face but his eyes, it has blades that run off the back of it. He wears gauntlet with 2 blades, I would say, that are probably a good 6-8 inches maybe.
Oh yeah.
I mean, that stick out past his fist.
They cut limbs off.
Yes, they shred metal. No pun intended. His bracers are covered in these blades. His shoulder pads are covered in these blades. His bracers on his legs are covered in these blades. I mean, there's a reason he is called the Shredder. And now, depending on which version of the Shredder you go to, which preferably I refer to the more recent Shredder in the IDW Turtle series, which is fantastic.
Yep.
He's pretty awesome with these things. Most of the time, the main weapon you'll see the Shredder with was with a katana.
Yeah.
He uses.
Oh, I think katana or the staff.
A spear.
A spear, yeah.
Because he uses a spear in the old ones. But either or, which he can use both. Don't matter.
For those who don't know, he beat all the turtles up with a spear.
Yeah. and then got beat by a rat.
Yeah. Splinter's a badass.
That's because he let his anger get ahead of him. Most people don't realize that. But like I said, katana, a spear. He does carry shuriken on him. And he is like every ninja with shuriken. He's got to have gas pellets. Yep. He goes, ninja vanish. So, to wrap this up, man, this is going to be a really short one for Behind the Mask because there's not a lot of weapons. It's ability. It's more strength.
Still got a few things to talk about.
Well, I mean, you look at time here. So, shuriken. How many shuriken does the Shredder carry?
We did it for the other one, so I'm going to do it for this one. I believe he would carry 15 shurikens.
15 shuriken. Gas pellets would be 3.
Yep.
It's kind of what we agreed on with gas grenades and of the sort would be 3. Other than that, the only type of weapon, and I don't know if you would consider it a weapon that the Shredder would carry, and it's almost used in every version of the character, is the mutagen.
Yeah,
the ooze.
He does carry it.
And it's almost like a last-ditch effort. And basically where he becomes the Super Shredder, where he is pretty strong. And it kind of makes him a little mindless. He kind of throws him into his rage. But I would at least say he's a good 5-tonner.
He's so strong as a Super Shredder, I know he can swing straight through like...
Yeah,
the dock that collapsed on him in the movie and in the books. I don't know if I've ever read the one. Did he do it in the books?
Yeah, you look at any version of on film of the Shredder, he's used it. I don't think maybe in the early 2000 cartoons because he was a Utrom. I don't know if he used it because Utrom had a cybernetic suit.
I'm thinking if you go up in a tree, he can cut a tree with one swing.
Oh, he'll swing. He'll.
And I had an axe. I would have to hit that thing.
Well,
like
he could probably punch it.
So he would punch it one time and it would shred it. So.
But the question is, even though he has it,
I'm thinking 5 tons correct.
He and his durability's got to be a little high, and for some reason in the movie his spikes got really long. I don't get that. But in the IDW book, I've not seen him use it yet because he's been dead for a while. So it's there, but the question is, do we let it come into play?
I think depending on matchup. Well, not really depending on matchup. I think he just carries it.
Yeah, I don't think he would ever use it.
Just in case he needed to use it. So I think we should put it on his person just because he has used it before.
Alright, so he does carry a vial of mutagen for the Super Shredder. Me, personally, I don't think he'll ever be in a matchup where he needs it because it's almost like it's a last-ditch effort for him. And I don't think he needs it, especially with the IDW because due to this magic with Kitsu that he's been under, he's stronger, he's faster, and he really doesn't need it. Speaking of, so we're going to the abilities of the Shredder. Like we said, there's a lot of incarnations, but to me it seems like the IDW is the best one, or the old Shredder, I should say, the original
My favorite Shredder is the IDW Shredder and original movie Shredder.
Okay. Well,
cartoon Shredder, too comical. I like him, but
the original cartoon,
But I think Super Shredder. I thought regular Shredder, 1990 movie, and IDW Shredder,
which is very much like the original Ninja Turtle run.
Yeah.
So then we're doing comics here.
He's pretty cool in the 2012 series too.
Yes, he is, and which
also gets beat by the rat.
Yeah, well he always does. He lets his anger get the best of him. So if you look, and this is just between the original run and the IDW run. In the IDW run, he is strong enough to flying kick Crane in his battle armor and knock him to his back. With his katana, he's not armored. He cuts through his leg, his battlesuit's leg, with a katana.
Wow.
Now, that is not flesh and bone.
I've not seen that yet. I haven't. I'm behind.
They're at odds with each other, and they have a fight on a ship, and he has no armor on. And he's just gi, and he cuts through his, he almost single-handedly beats Crane by himself in his battle armor. So, just to show you how strong he is from IDW. Now, and he's shown a couple times lifting a man up with one hand.
Oh, yeah.
So, it's some of that mystical power that he's got from that series, and I'm not going to ruin anything, but you should really read it. It's really good. It's one of the best books out there. Which also plays into a little bit of his durability. In the new IDW series, there's a mutant called Apolex. She's kind of like a winter fox.
I love that character.
She tackles him, slams him into the ground, which cracks the ground underneath him, and it doesn't even affect him. He immediately throws her off. He's unfazed by it. He has, and if you go to the old series, just to show you durability to compare wise, the turtles in the old series are like kicking through brick walls, like breaking them with kicks and punches. And when he fights them, those do not faze him at all. So that right there should just tell you how durable and strong Shredder is, just as a character.
I think during my research, there's something that ran him over and did not do anything to him. I cannot remember what it was.
Yeah. And
got up and beat the hell out of whoever was driving.
Yeah, I mean, for a lot of people to be peak human, he's not.
Yeah.
And in the older series, there's nothing to explain that, but in the IDW series, it is because he's under mystical powers due to Kitsune.
Yep.
So I mean, there is a reason why he's a little above peak human. His speed is remarkable. There's panels in the IDW book where he has deflected bullets from two people shooting at him with one swipe of a sword. Crane is firing late in their fight, is firing lasers, missiles, bullets at him, and he is dodging them before he even gets close enough to attack him. So, I mean, these are guided lasers and missiles and shit. So, I mean, that right there just shows you how quick enough he is. And that's at close quarters too, because they're fighting on a ship.
There's also a scene where I was doing some research about his speed. I think it's in the 2012 series. There's like a mobster eating, and I think they said Shredder swung through and cut the meatball off his fork and put it back down, and he never swung on the panel.
Wow, see, that's pretty fast. I wouldn't believe that. Well, he's a master martial artist, ninja, and assassin, so that makes a lot of sense. Also, to talk to his speed, he has fought the turtles multiple times and can react to fighting all four of them, who are all master martial artists. And like I said, they're mutants, so they have enhanced speed and agility, and he's fast enough to fight all four of them by himself.
There's 4 different styles too. Is what I was going to bring up here. You got aggressive styles with a disarm weapon, which is in Raphael, and you got a leadership hone style, which is in Leonardo, and it's bladed katana.
Yeah, patience.
And you have Michelangelo, who's a crazy style with the blunt swinging nunchuck, and you got Donatello, who fights with a staff, and brings smarts and gadgets. He's able to throw all that to the side, and most of the time they cannot beat him.
Yeah, by himself, no.
They beat him several times, but by themselves, a lot of times they get beat.
Yeah, but I mean, and it happens.
They had to run away.
Yeah, because his skills are far exceeds those. And speaking of, like I said, he's a master martial artist, ninja, and assassin. If you go to the IDW series, and I'm telling you, I cannot talk about that enough. And I think it's the Secret History of the Foot Clan book. Back in feudal Japan, he was such a feared and revered assassin. His skills were so great. He jumped in dozens upon dozens of samurai and beat them by himself. Killed every one of them.
Yeah.
And that was with no mystical powers from Kitsune or anything like that. That is how badass he is. And it doesn't show you can't really get a number, but it's by the dozens, and he's fighting all of them just with like 2 katanas. It's some very hardcore anime stuff.
That's crazy.
So just to show you his skill, and like we said, the turtles all trained since birth in martial arts by Splinter. Each one of them carries a different type of weapon, which brings a different ability to each fight. Like you said, Leonardo he's going to be completely patient and offensive, and he's more of like the guy who's going to look for a vital side.
Yeah,
he's going to try to hit you in a vital spot. You have Raph, who is completely in your face and aggressive. He's got weapons. His size will disarm you. Michelangelo's, I would say, pretty unpredictable because, like you said, he's the fun-loving dude. And the nunchucks you can use as a offensive or a defensive weapon.
Yes, you
can disarm them. And then you have Donnie, who can literally sneak in with reach with a bow staff, and he is able to fight all 4 of them, react simultaneously to all of them, and their ninja skills, and defeat every one of them. So that right there just shows you how skilled and how fast he is as a fighter.
He might be the best hand-to-hand combatant that don't have no powers in the entire universe.
Well, like I said, I mean, and you can say that because he even does that in his original versions without any type of mystical mumbo jumbo, and then he also does it in the IDW series. So there's a lot right there you can go with.
Bunch.
Yes.
And he controls the Foot Clan.
And he has the Foot Clan.
His badass daughter, and yeah.
So with that, like I said, not a lot to cover with Shredder.
No.
Just very little weapons, all badassery.
Yeah.
So with that, that's been the Shredder's episode here on Behind the Mask. For the Villains Man, I'm JVD.
I'm Evan the Great.
And remember, the foot is family.